sorry for being late, but you know it's a personal affair. It's not a commercial studio so that we can arrange everything for you commercially. And I invited him as a family member to the house. For past 10 years, we are the part of a family. But then I wanted to listen something from a successful person who has seen all the shades of life. As all of us, most of us, start from a very low beginning, and then we aspire for a big thing, we have a big dream, etc., etc. He is a very good example of that. He starts from a very humble beginning, very humble. Some of you get disappointed, some of you are depressed, some of you are fighting with yourself, what should I do, etc., etc. But then I thought, after once I saw his selection in UPSC, I was so much happy. I was happy because I told you in my previous video that every year I take out a person who is extra important for you. Especially, everyone is important. All the 29 people who have got the selection, they all are important. But some people are extra important. Their life is example, their struggle is example, their patience is example, their transformation is example. I today not take much time of you. I directly come to Mr. Prabhat Singh. So Prabhat Singh, welcome here.
Thank you, sir.
And congratulations for the huge success.
Thank you.
Now, first thing, as you always talked about your mother, my mother is always an ideal for me. So I want that you should start from narrating the story of your mother.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I think so. Behind every children's dream or every successful person I have seen and I have known, there's a constant power and constant energy which keeps you pushing at every moment. And I think so I have very much inculcated that pushing factor from my parents, especially my mom. I was very lucky that I was blessed with parents, because neither my father was an educated person and neither my mother, but they were very well knowledge person. I got blessing of two things from my parents. My dad gave me discipline, that he worked in a very humble background. He did service as a middle class person. He was in a particular firm, a very normal person. But one thing which extraordinary was given by mom to me was aspirations and dream, and the capacity and ability to dream. She always said that whenever you do a work, you have to ace it, and until you ace it, you do not have to fall back. And recently there was a movie in which I heard a line that "Maa se badi yodha nahi hoti," and I could very much relate to it, because I've seen, and many people coming from background like mine are seeing that their parents are struggling every day. And I think so there can be nothing bigger factor, motivation factor than this. I've seen my mother working till midnight late in her own beauty salon, so that our monthly fees can be paid. And then my father, no doubt, apart from his job for continuously 2-3 years, I've seen him doing double shifts for 2-3 years, so that he can take expenses of our education. Apart from that, my parents used to run a vegetable shop, and it used to be very strange, because we were small, so we did not understand what is the logic behind this. And when we used to go to school, so unintentionally the children used to call us ki sabji wala, and that thing used to come in the mind. But we were never least affected, because my parents always told us that whatever you need to do for the best of the family, you have to do. And that when I remember, we were in Varda, and my mom used to go early morning at 4 o'clock to the wholesale mandi market, which is a full market dominated by men. And over there, she used to take my little young sister. She was hardly 1 year, 2 years. So my sister used to be in her hands, and she used to hold my hand, and we used to go to the mandi. Most of the time, my father used to accompany her. But still, there used to be a time when she had to go, and she had to do this. So I never saw a slight disappointment on her face. It was always a fighting spirit, and this kept us moving, because when my parents started this small thing of selling vegetables, improvised to getting a shop of where she could run a beauty salon. Then we started into catering business. So it always improvised. It took some time, and the support they had for each other, my parents, and this gave us also energy. In fact, when my mom was hospitalized in the last years, so I still remember she was diagnosed with swine flu. She was already 3 months into the hospital, and she was diagnosed with swine flu in Delhi, and due to some patient in the hospital only. So the doctor said that nothing more can be done, and there were 12 patients in the hospital of swine flu, and somehow 11 patients I'm sorry, they lost their life, but only my mother was the one who came out fighting. So even on her deathbed, she was fighting till the last moment. So I lost her in 2015, and before that I made only 2 attempts of mine. And when she was going into the ICU, she made a line to me, and I think so you were also there, and she said that my nickname is Binu. So she said that Binu, अब मेरे वजह से तुम्हारा कोई attempt waste नहीं होगा. So that was a very motivating night.
See, the parents, especially the middle class parents, they have a very high potential of sacrificing for their children. I know him from 2011, and 2012 I came to know his family and all. And as he said, his mother had a very high level of fighting spirit. And I tell you, why we say that parents are the representatives of God. She is not alive, but from wherever she must be watching, she must be very proud of her son and her family. And the biggest thing, see, the main message which I want to give you here is, that she is saying to him, she is going to ICU, and she is saying to him, that beta, I will not be the obstacle. Means, if you think anyone else other than your parents, I will again repeat the line, if you think any other thing other than your parents, you don't know what harm you are doing, because they are the people who can give their life. They are the people who can give their life. So, I know as I was a very important part of his journey. So I know that his mother was of a very high fighting spirit, and she was a daring lady. We give a huge tribute to her. And your success, the 90% credit for his success goes to his mother. If I say 98, that will not be an exaggeration, but then that will be somewhat, I think no one will have an objection for it. But then we will give 98% contribution for his success, for his achievement, to his mother. Second question, Mr. Singh. So as you said, your mother created a deadline, and your mother gave all the platform to you for your success and achievement. So we give a huge tribute to her, we pray for her. Second thing, tell me something about your family, about the family support and all.
Yes, sir. So to start with my family, I'll like to tell everyone that when you start a journey and the journey is too long, you'll meet many people throughout the journey. I started in 2011, and I was a very, very average student, not at all very much dedicated to academics, but yeah, I was good, but not dedicated to academics. And in fact, when the results were out and I told to many of my friends from school and college, it came out as a total surprise to them that you and getting into UPSC, we never even thought about it. But in this journey, when you meet many people, there will be 2 types of people, I think so, around you. One who will believe in your capabilities, and one who will believe in your dreams. believing in your capabilities will be your friends, your close relationship which you make, and they know that okay, you are capable. They'll judge you on your personality, your academics, your knowledge. But the other person who believe in your dream, I think so. In my case, which was only my family, and to specially mention my brother, elder Pratik Singh.
Pratik Singh, yes, yes.
When we were lost mom and we were not in the condition to, I was not in the condition to go for civil second because financially we were totally drained, and so there was no option that how I could continue, because I have already left my preparation in 2013, and 2015 the syllabus changed, the CSAT was gone, and it was an entire new syllabus. The GS pattern had changed, and there were classes and everything, and it was a very difficult job for me, because I was meanwhile also doing my law. So my family, my brother, he spoke to me. I remember I lost my mom, and my uncle, my father, he was still working there, and my uncle Keshav Bhair, he was also there. So we four of us were sitting, and they asked me sincerely that what do I want to do, that do I want to pursue law. So I said I always did law for my education, extra education, and I thought I will get into it someday. But they said, do you want to do it, or do you think you can do it? I said no, I don't want to do it, and I think so I can do better. So they asked me, what is this better? So I said I want to fulfill mother's dream of getting into UPSC, into civil services. And the major thing which we faced during my mom's treatment, so back then only I decided that I have to get into civil service, and I have to dedicatedly give my life to civil services and nothing else. So I told this to my brother. My father was a little dicey about it, because he was a very simple man with simple dreams. He said you should get a good job and you should start working. But my brother pulled me out, and he took the risk, and he said, you do whatever you want. I will sponsor your education, let me take a loan, whatever is the thing. I will do it. I will support you. Back then I had some close relationships, and I had close friends, and they were also like, you can give it a try, but I think so you're good at very other things, because always everyone thought that I can be good at business. I was in Gujarat for some time and I did some of it. So everyone's like, you're good in many other things, why don't you do that? And why are you after civils changing your life? And people who I used to work with earlier, they also offered me jobs in their company in Gujarat, but I could never wholeheartedly go there. So my brother, after my mom, was my family and was a supporting factor. And apart from my brother, my father, they both started again supporting me for my education. And my uncle, he also financed some major portion of my education as well. These three people, in fact, since 2015, I think only these three people were aware that I am about to give civil services examination, and my younger sister. Apart from that, I don't think so anyone else, apart from the people whom I used to prepare with, were even aware, because I did my law. I used to work part-time. I was attached with some travel groups. Sometimes I used to make some extra money so that if I want to join some test series or some other way. But even then, there was no pressure from the family. And my brother, he used to face many questions from everyone around that. Your younger brother is already very aged, and what is he doing? So he used to always say, he's my investment, let it be a kota sikka. And let me see what it touches, and whatever the risk is, it's mine. So I think so this belief, and people, everyone who's coming out of their home, I like just like to tell them that don't make this as a pressure on you, that your brother is sponsoring your education or your father is sponsoring, they are selling plots or whatever they are doing. Don't make it as a pressure on you. Don't build a pressure. This can be your only motivating factor. So this always motivated me. My brother is paying my fee, so I was always motivated. There is someone still who is believing in me. I was 26 practically back then. I was not doing any job. I did not clear prelims in the first 4 attempts, and it was 2018 back then. And in fact, I remember after my 2018 attempt, I had come to see you as well, and we had a discussion about it. So you also asked me what to do, and I said, sir, I need one more attempt, and I'll definitely make in the top list. But somehow, okay, things did not work out. I got a rank, but I'm definitely sure with this motivating factor. Even today after the result, my brother says, even if you don't want to join right now, it's not an issue. He's like, if you don't want to join, don't take it. If you believe in your dream, give it an attempt, fresh attempt next year. So that's the role of family. Friends will always be there, but if you are blessed with such a family, then I think so there is no pressure. Children often come to pressure that my parents are doing this and I have not been able to do that. No. Take it as a motivating factor, a positive aspect of your life, and fulfill. Not civils, something else, but you will definitely do great. And their investment, the quota Sikka will someday fetch them a very good amount. This is what I.
So Prabhat Singh is saying ki don't think that you are a Khota Sikka. And I remember a dialogue from a Sholay movie when Sanjeev Kumar says ki when that sub-inspector comes to meet Sanjeev Kumar in the beginning of the movie and he says कि पर ये दोनों तो किसी काम के नहीं, तो देन संजय कुमार के उसका रिप्लाई कि ये तो दोनों खोटे सिक्के हैं. तो संजय कुमार रिप्लाइज कि सिक्के और इंसान में शायद यही फर्क है कि खोटा सिक्का दोनों तरफ से खराब हो सकता है, मतलब खोटा कॉइन will be useless from both the sides, but that is not with the human being. And what he wants to convey to you, please pay attention on that. He says कि whenever you are a dream for your family and everyone is sacrificing on you, don't take it as a pressure. It should be a motivational factor for you. This is the reason I called him, because all of us belong to the same background. Don't see what he's saying. My brother used to say, fine, some of you used to come to me and say, sir, my father has taken loan and father had done this. Okay, fine, we all face all those things. But see what he's saying. His brother used to say, if he is a Khota Sikka, but if he does not move into the market, it's my problem, it's my headache. Why you are worried? And when you are conveyed all these things, don't take it as a pressure. First thing he says, you should have a dream. Your parents should be God to you. God. Your family should be a support system to you. There is no need to take the pressure in the big games. But about all the big games, Mr. Singh, I have seen that friends also play a very important role.
Yes, sir.
This is a group in the world which you don't get by yourself, you create them. So please throw some light on them.
Sir, I'll be first of all, I'd like to say sorry in the initial part only, because you have seen me, how social I was before getting into civils. So I have a huge friend list, and it is because my dad kept on moving for his job. So my friends throughout my journey were a lot of friends, and my first attempt was in 2012 when I gave it, and I was staying with my cousin. His name is Arpit, and he was not from a UPSC background, but as I said, he's also a family. And whenever I used to get a little bit low, he used to always come to me and like, "Yaar, tu to khandan ka stud hai. Why are you so low? And you should always go behind it." Then there was Mr. Prakash. He was a differently able person, and his sheer will to come and give civil services also motivated me in the initial phase. That okay, a person leaving back his family took the risk to come and give civils. So these were the initial phase, because this was the basic foundation which I found. Then I started classes with you, and we had a very good batch. I found friends like Rita in the class who gave a continuous atmosphere of discussion and everything. Next, sir, then I was very much occupied with my family responsibilities. I had to leave preparation when I was with mom. In 2015-16, I met people. I told you there are two types of people: one who believe in you, your dreams, and one who believe in your capabilities. So in the next attempt of 2016, I met such people, and in those, one was Anshika Thapa. She was a friend of mine, and she was very close, and she always mentioned that I have tremendous capabilities. Though I could not clear my initial prelims, I could not clear any of the exams. But she always kept me motivated. No, you have to do this, and she was throughout my journey with my mother and everyone. Then I found a friend in Sanket. We were mad friends, and my transformation phase, I would like to say the first tick happened with Sanket when for the first time in my life I started studying for 12 hours a day, and without knowing that I was studying 12 hours a day. My 2016 attempt was with Sanket, and this is when I got very serious that how I should prepare, and Sanket was a continuous motivation. Oh, you cannot get up, you have to study. So we both started, supporting each other. For example, he took break, so I would never let him take a break, and vice versa. And then the journey started for 2016, 17, again failure. But then again in 18, what happened, Sanket had got scholarship from Jain hostel, and he had to move, and I went again alone. So here comes the main part, that there will be friends in your journey, and everyone will be very supportive of you, but you cannot expect or you cannot burden your friends that they have to be always there. In 2019 attempt, I was all alone. When I started preparing for 2019 again, I got a job offer. I did not take it. I told my brother that I have a job offer, and what should I do? He said, "You want to do it?" I said, "No, I don't want to do it." Meanwhile, I was very seriously ill, and then I joined a library in Rajendra Place. So Sanket was the one who introduced me to this library over there, and I joined over there. Luckily, studying for 2-3 months, you develop a good aura over there when you start studying. So I found some real good friends over there. First is Meenakshi. She was also preparing for her exams. Then there was Garima. She was also preparing a civil service. She is also a civil service aspirant. And there's Ramakrishna and Saurabh. We were 4 or 5 people who were the core, and I still remember everyone used to tease me that, oh, you are the first one to come, last one to leave. You do a race to write the names on the register in the first go. But that 2 year of journey in the last attempt was very crucial. People think that, oh, I need friends only to study or to discuss. I would like to say that is not the only case. Everyone plays an important role. For example, Meenakshi in our group was not preparing for civil, she was preparing for SSC. But she used to be the one who used to lighten up the mood. For example, if it was me, Rama and Saurabh, a bad test day and we used to score very less, so she was the one who used to cheer us up with good food and everything. And if we needed peace, meditation, so Garima used to be there. So this is how it works when you study in a group. So my personal experience to everyone will be that I think so you can isolate yourself being with friends as well. You do not have to isolate yourself into a room. It's not a quarantine or a corona situation. You can definitely go out, make friends, but if you are into discipline, your friends will definitely respect your boundaries. None of my friends ever asked me to break this. And throughout these 11 years, there was one friend, Mr. Ajay Verma. I met him in 2011. So he was a constant guide. Eventually, he is also appearing for UPPCS, and since 2011, he guided me continuously throughout the journey for how to take prelims and how to take mains. So I would like to say that you can be among friends, and you do not have to isolate yourself. And every friend is important. You should have a group of friends whom you can discuss answers with. You should have a group of friends whom you can enjoy with, and you should have friends who can motivate you when you are low. So it totally depends. And I had such friends. I was lucky to have such friends whom I can go to according to my requirement. If I was low, I used to go to someone. If I was very energetic, I used to go to someone who can lower down my energy and I can concentrate on studies again. So I think so. The choice of friends that you have to control. That I'll tell again if something comes. But friends are very important.
So Mr. Singh says if friends are very important, and why they are important? Because they maintain your motivation and cheerfulness. So instead of blaming your friends, you should find out that what type of taste you have in developing friendship. Generally people say that you cannot make friends. We all are a social being, we all are the part of this society, so we need someone to give motivational pushback, and friends are the people who are with you 24/7. So first thing he says, The parents' dream is very important because that acts as a motivation. Don't take it as a pressure. Second thing he says ki family does the investment on you, so don't take it as a pressure. And third thing he said ki it's not a quarantine time. Generally people take it as a quarantine. I will not talk to anyone. I will not talk to a girl. I will not talk to a boy. I will not do this. No. Again, smartness is required. Fine.
Yes, the basic thing is, as you told me, take out the best from everyone.
True.
For example, my hobby is tasting food of different states, and somehow all these people I used to study with, all were foodies. So it gave me options to explore different houses, Andhra house, Kerala house. So we used to go eat out there, and Rama was very dedicated, Sanket was a dedicated person. So they gave me the strength to study for 12 hours, 14 hours in a row. Saurabh was a very disciplined and calm person. He knew what he wanted to do in life and very subtle.